Fast and Furious Crossroads. Man, this game. I don't think it's any secret that it hasn't been doing very well, critically, commercially. It was announced back in December of 2019 during the Game Awards. Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez came on board and hyped this game up, and they had a very hello fellow kids moment up on stage.
Michelle, we are in our crowd.
I know, man, gamers.
We have been gamers forever, and we are at an award show of our people.
Look, I'm not saying they don't play video games, but the whole, like, we are in our element here, this is our crowd, it was, I don't know, just super weird and kind of phoned in, it felt, but I don't know, anyway. But yeah, the trailer was revealed during the Game Awards 2019. It wasn't received particularly well. People were not particularly enthused about the visual fidelity. The gameplay looked And so in the comments, you'll see people saying things like, didn't know they were still making games for PS2. Now this is Game of the Year material. Obviously, this is sarcasm. Michelle, I'm excited for that. Everyone, press X to doubt. And indeed, there was no reason to be excited for this game. You can see right here from the critical reception with a 35 Metascore based on just 13 critic reviews. Not only does it have a low score, not many outlets were all that interested in covering a game that was just straight up a cash grab. It's a very, very bad game. The user score also speaks for itself with a score of 1.8. This is the PlayStation 4 version. The PC version doesn't fare any better. 10 critic reviews scored it a 34 Metascore, and the user score here is also the same, 1.8. And beyond the negative critical reception, the number of players who bought this is incredibly minuscule. You can see right now on Steam DB that as of the past 24 hours, 5 people played the game. 2 people are playing right now, and the all-time peak these last 2 years is sitting at a mere 54 players. I am so curious to see how many copies Fast and Furious sold. I'd be surprised if it even managed to cross the 1,000 units sold mark. But yeah, this is obviously a game that miserably failed. And as someone who unfortunately played this game for your pleasure on my channel via this video titled Fast and Furious Crossroads is one of the worst games of 2020, and the thumbnail reads, "Kill this game with fire," I can tell you this game is as bad as they say. Here's an example of the game crashing during one of its first cutscenes.
Did the game crash?
And me not being able to figure out.
Do I have to just do that over again?
How to exit the game, because the game crashed so hard it like froze my PC basically. But okay, we got over that hurdle, but the rest of the game really didn't fare any better. The one, like, I don't even want to say compliment, but the one aspect of Fast and Furious Crossroads that I'll give it some credit for is how ridiculous the final sequence was. I was just like laughing my butt off. You can see right here in my second part to that video titled Kill This Game with Fire Part 2, or I beat one of the worst games of 2020, Fast and Furious Crossroads. What? What? What?
Okay, now what?
I did die watching the rocket propel itself sideways and us having to chase the rocket with our cars being the superpowers of Fast and Furious characters. But past that, I mean, character models looked god-awful. I mean, this is not Michelle Rodriguez. This is Michelle Rodriguez at home. The gameplay, my god, the cars control awfully. The level design and the objectives, mission designs are bland. The world is empty. The car drives like crap, and missions basically involve going from point A to point B in an empty world that's not very reactive, and just following the quest marker, a few set pieces here and there that all feel very bland and poorly conceived. It's straight up one of the worst games I've ever played. Now, if you go to Steam right now, you'll see that the reviews are mixed. Only 75 reviews, and at 41%, this game isn't really setting the world on fire, and the reviews speak for themselves, with most people not recommending it. Literally the worst PC game I've ever played. Driving in Fortnite is more entertaining. And what positive reviews there are joke positive reviews like this one right here. Family is fast. Family is furious. But most importantly, family is family. More jokes scrolling further down. I was going to leave this a negative review, but you don't do that to family. This game is terrible, but you don't turn your back on family. Family. So you get the idea. All of the positive reviews are basically family jokes from what I can tell. I don't really see any legitimate positive reviews for this game. This game is just a laughing stock. You know, Fast and Furious is one of the highest grossing film franchises of all time, and there was certainly the sentiment that this game could have done much better. They could have tried a little harder. They could have shipped a project that felt more AAA and more in line with the kind of revenue that the Fast and Furious series generates, but instead we got basically a PS2 to PS3 era cash grab. And on top of all that, they had the frickin' audacity to sell a season pass for this game, which basically just comes with packs 1, 2, and 3 of Fast and Furious Crossroads. I believe these are essentially cosmetics, except the season pass isn't even cheaper than buying these packs separately. It's actually cheaper to buy the packs separately. You will actually end up saving 2 pennies. If you add $9.99 and multiply that by 3, you get $29.97, which is cheaper than the season pass, which is $29.99. The whole point of the season pass is, you know, you're investing in the long-term future of a game, and you save a little bit of money by getting the season pass for the whole package instead of buying these separately. So they couldn't even get that right. And then there's this launch pack for $5. The launch pack is basically cosmetics and vehicle-related content. And then here's the season pass, which gives you packs 1, 2, and 3. And those, clicking on them, will show you that these are also essentially just cosmetic elements for vehicles that are not particularly enticing in a game that is just so piss poor in its car maneuverability, and just the game looks like crap. It's not fun to drive these vehicles. There's no reason to want these cosmetic elements. Just one of the worst games ever with one of the worst season passes ever. And this is a journey that is now coming to an end just 2 years after the game's launch. If you go to the official Fast and Furious Crossroads website, fastandfuriouscrossroads.com, you can see, my God, this poster here looks like it's for a mobile game. Anyway, where was I? Right, if you scroll down, you'll find that there is an update on Fast and Furious Crossroads that wasn't there before, and here's what that reads like. All product sales will end on April 29th, 2022, 4 a.m. CEST. All product sales will end in a month, meaning that this game is going to be delisted across the board on all digital storefronts, and physically, I don't imagine that they're really shipping any more copies. This game has officially been killed. Just 2 years after launch, this game is completely dead. I mean, it's been dead for a while now with players in the single digits every day. Nobody's playing this game. Really, publishers of this game have decided to put this game out of its misery, realizing that nobody's going to want to play this game. And so as of April 29th, 2022, you will see this game go away completely. Though if you bought the game already digitally, it will remain in your library and can be re-downloaded in the future. Yay for me, who bought this game to make those videos. And now this is a curse that I have to live with. And then the statement concludes with any DLCs purchased before April 29th, 2022 will still be available to use after this date. The game's online modes will also remain active, but I have to wonder for how long, because usually when a game is delisted from stores, when its sales end across the board, it means that they're getting ready to shut down the servers as well. There's no reason to keep these servers alive because there are only like 2 players playing at any given time. The multiplayer mode is completely useless. And you might as well just kill it off now. Nobody would remember this game. Nobody would really shed a tear for this game now, would they? And so now we're starting to see headlines like this one: Fast and Furious Crossroads to be fastly and furiously delisted on April 29th. Scrolling down, you'll find some details like halting sales is often just a precursor to an eventual server shutdown. Exactly. Yeah, they say that servers will remain online, but them ending sales for this game is basically a subtle, well, or not so subtle really, way of saying that we're going to shut everything down, including the servers. The first phase of what publishers refer to with euphemisms like end of life. The game launched back in August of 2020, and when you look at it that way, it is indeed a very short life for the game, vanishing after less than 2 years after launch. A year and a half after launch, really. I've been saying 2 years this whole time, but I mean, we got a couple months left till August of 2022. In less than 2 years, they decided this game was too embarrassing to keep up and to continue having listed in storefronts where people are just going to make fun of it and talk about family. Polygon is then very generous about the criticism surrounding Crossroads, which failed to connect with audiences thanks to rote gameplay that didn't let players enjoy sad cars. It mostly tasked them with simply driving from one place to another on a linear path, interrupted by the odd stunt. That's the basic summary of this game, and thus ends the life of a game that nobody expected to really blow any minds, but I think a lot of people also found this game to be a lot worse than anyone imagined. People will be able to get past the awful graphics and character models if at least there was a decent game there with just decent driving mechanics. Something that just kind of coasted by. Maybe it would have sold a couple hundred more copies. I don't know. But instead, what was shipped was truly an abomination. And I mean, this game must have cost a decent amount of money, given that the original Fast and Furious actors, Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, you name it, they all lent their voice to voice their respective characters. So I don't know how much they got paid, but it seems like all the budget went to them, because this game feels like it belongs in the Steam shovelware category of games. But even then, the voice acting itself, it was the original cast, yet they sounded so bored, like they didn't want to be there. This is one of those games where it feels like no love was put into it, or not enough time was given for enough love to be able to be put into it, and they just shipped what they had by the very specific deadline they had to ship this game by to coincide with the release of Fast and Furious 9 at the time. So, yeah, another day, another failed movie to video game adaptation. And as much as Dom emphasizes the importance of family, sometimes a family member brings great shame to the entire family. Sometimes you gotta sever ties with family. Now, I'm a believer in game preservation, even the bad games, so I imagine there are gonna be plenty of, pirated copies out there. And at this point, since the game is literally going off sale after April 29th, downloading a pirated copy isn't really doing any harm because the game is no longer being sold, so might as well take advantage if you're a masochist and want to just go on a journey of boredom and suffering and wish to inflict pain upon yourself. Hey, it's a free country. But yeah, there you have it, folks. Everything you need to know about the latest developments surrounding one of the most unceremonious releases for one of the biggest IPs in the world. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Fast and Furious Crossroads getting delisted, if you even care enough about this game to comment. And if you've played this game, for the dozen or so viewers, what'd you think of this game? And I imagine this isn't much of a surprise to many people, but share your thoughts in the comments below. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Family.